Hello, everybody. It's the Rage Select Community Podcast. I am Ryan, and with me are two of my co-mates, Charles Armstrong and Charles Rocchi.
I wouldn't call us anything, but okay.
Co-hosts?
I'm not your mate, bag.
I'm not your bag, buddy.
What voice was that, by the way?
Nothing. I don't know.
Sounded like you were trying to do some really bizarre announcer voice that's just really sleepy, really drowsy, you know?
That's his ASMR voice.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, just listened this morning to the Rage Select Community Podcast. Today we're going to listen to the sound of mouse's wheels scrolling.
I just popped 3 pills of Extenso. Now we're going to see how far this dick goes.
I swear to God, if that cheating bitch thinks she's getting my alimony, she's got another thing coming.
For some reason, that song's been stuck in my head all week.
What?
Oh, no, just because I was saying, I took 3 pills of Extenso. It's from,
Oh, you told us about that one, I think. Once.
I very much doubt I did, considering I don't see in what context this song would have come up. No, I was thinking of, an Odd Future song.
I don't know. We've talked about stuff weird shit before. That's
not weird. I can't think of any context in which I would have brought up Odd Future.
I don't even know what Odd Future is.
It's the thing that Tyler the Creator is from.
What's a Tyler the Creator?
Oh, I refuse to. You're fucking with me. Right?
I've heard of Tyler the Creator. I've heard of I don't think I've heard his music, but I've heard of him.
All right, I'll send you some of his stuff later. It's weird. Not weird in the sense of oh man, how can someone do this? It's more just you're almost kind of surprised that it got as big as it did. The best way to sort of describe it is, and it's in part because of the music videos, it essentially looks like what would happen if rap/hip hop was played on public access television.
Good lord.
It's basically the thing that's perfect for Adult Swim, which is why they actually have a show on Adult Swim.
Well, alright then. So, we didn't have a podcast last week because something was fucking up with Ryan's Skype recorder.
Because Skype recorder is shit, and I needed to beat its ass before it finally learned to obey. Fucking Skype recorder.
Insert Black Snake Moan Photoshop with Ryan. Yeah.
I appreciate you beating up machines.
You got a sickness in you, Skype recorder. That movie's really fucked up.
I don't think I've ever seen it before.
But it's watchable.
Yeah. I mean, I get he was trying to do something good, but he was, in any other scenario, he would have been the horror guy was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh no, you could not make that movie today. Well, you could, but
maybe
you'd have to release in Israel or something.
Right?
Oh. All right. So, do you guys remember Two Worlds?
No.
Briefly.
It was one of the early Xbox 7th generation games where before anything good had actually come out.
It was one of those games where it was just off the heels of Oblivion. And at the time, people thought, oh, this looks even better than Oblivion, because they were just looking at screenshots. And in screenshots, it did look better. And then the actual video came out, and oh, this this runs like shit.
I honestly do not remember Two Worlds.
Well, you weren't missing much. Yet somehow it got a sequel, which
Two Worlds 2
was better. But yeah. But miraculously,
so third time's the charm.
Two Worlds 3 has been officially announced.
So third time's the charm.
Not just Two Worlds 3, but there's also going to be, I think, 2 new expansions to Two Worlds 2. This is years after the game came out.
Wow, the first one came out in 2007.
Yeah.
Close to 10 years. Wow.
The first story DLC for Two Worlds 2 is called Call of the Tenebrae, which I'm sure is something essential to the Two Worlds lore. I really... Who's the audience for this?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, Two Worlds developer Reality Pump Studios, give it a third shot.
Yeah, I never played those games. I don't even know. Like, I'm looking at the pictures right now, and they look like generic, like, Middle Eastern, or not Middle Eastern, but like European.
Wow.
Middle Eastern. I meant European, like, lore shit. Middle Eastern.
Wow.
I
would
say
say
like
if you
Middle Eastern lore kind of video game. That'd be interesting.
the next God of War.
According to Ryan, whether it's a Polak or an Arab, a non-German is a non-German and should be purified.
I've never said that ever.
No, I think you just said that right there by comparing the two, buddy.
Yeah.
Put the quote on the box.
Oh, man.
I have many friends who are Polacks.
That's like the person saying, hey, I'm not racist, I have a black friend.
That was the joke.
I refuse to... Something tells me, like, Ryan's impressions of Polacks are just like people that go around eating pierogies and that's it.
I don't even know what the fuck a pierogi is.
That I believe. Like, you've never had a pierogi before.
No, honestly, I haven't. What is that? Is that actually any good or no?
Yeah. Well, they can't. They can be good. They can also be bad. Depends on how well they're cooked.
Oh, they're dumplings. Okay. They're fucking dumplings. Okay. Why not just say dumplings?
Well, because they're not exactly dumplings. I mean, it's usually filled with cheese, for one thing. And it's not like just like, you know, oh yeah, you just put cheese in the dumplings. Like, no, it's like kind of almost like a cheese puff almost.
Okay.
But like when I say cheese puff, I mean like in a sense like of a puff pastry, not of like Cheetos.
Okay. Actually, yeah, these do look kind of good.
So you guys know PS4.5 or PS4K, whatever, rumor thing.
Yeah.
Nothing officially confirmed. People are saying that it's the Wall Street Journal is
The Wall Street Journal?
that it's going to be announced before the PlayStation VR launches in October.
That's about as strange as Forbes talking about video games. Oh, wait.
Except they totally do.
They do.
That's what happens
And they're
when
not
you have
bad.
a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, and honestly, they're not bad. They actually have some good people writing.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. So what is the story? Like it hasn't been confirmed yet, but people are still talking about it?
Well, people are saying that it's going to be officially announced before the PlayStation VR launches, which is in October. So they say we're going to get an official confirmation before either in or before October.
Now here's the question. Do you think it's going to be its own separate console? Or
Yes.
Were you the one that was saying last week that you were talking to someone and it's like, you don't find it how it's possible that someone can even release a console like that for the price that you would expect it to be and still be reasonable?
No,
it's like not even a lot of other like pieces of hardware can even like do resolutions at 4K anyway.
Yeah, I don't know anything about building PCs, so I'm talking out of my ass here. But I believe I've read that just the drive capable of running games solidly in 4K costs more than a PlayStation 4 does now. So I don't think there's any feasible way they could make this work.
I get the idea because apparently it's like one of those things where it's like, if you're going to do VR, you would need something to like, be able to perform at a 4K resolution. But at the same time, I can't imagine that would be a strict requirement. And more to the point, the major thing I've heard is like they're just doing this because a lot of TVs are going to 4K.
Right. Well, that's what.
But
I've also
how many
heard
people actually own 4K TVs?
Yes, that's the thing. Is I've heard that people are saying that I've read that some people are saying that people are misinterpreting the 4K as related to gaming.
Yeah.
And make it it's like how the Blu-ray player was for the PS3. How this is going to be a machine that's capable of either playing or streaming 4K content, but it also has like boosted hardware capabilities for the PlayStation VR. It can run PlayStation 4 games more smoothly, look better. I don't know. None of us actually know. Anyone who says they know doesn't actually know.
I totally know.
Or maybe Ryan knows.
Goddamn right.
There was also this came from Sony executive, Masayasu Ito, who said that since PlayStation 4 shares a lot of internals with PC, the possibility is there when he was talking about how it's definitely possible that at some point in the future, the PlayStation VR may be compatible with PCs. So this may not be an exclusive VR device. That'd be pretty cool. Having a lower cost VR device out to the public.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But still, this all depends on if it's even a success for Sony in the first place.
Well, I guess it depends on, you would have to find a way. It's interesting, is VR as an actual tech seems to be doing okay, because, even the non-gaming ones, the Samsung one, a lot of people are interested in, it's just more to a point, okay, but you have the HTC Vive and the Oculus, which are, for PC, so they already have that whole market dedicated for that. What PS4 games are you going to release that's going to make, full use of that? Not to say that you can't, just what are you going to plan to do with it?
Exactly. It's a conundrum. You got anything on it, Ron?
No, not really.
All right, moving on. This is still stories from last week. Next Call of Duty is supposedly going to be set in space, or just more in space. And this time around, it's Infinity Ward doing. The last one they did was Ghosts, which was probably the worst reviewed Call of Duty in recent years.
It's the sort of oh, can we please go back? We used to like you. Can you just, maybe step off a bit?
Well, hopefully when they're in space, the Call of Duty people will save us from Moonraker.
Oh, no. I actually kind of like Moonraker.
Wait, hold on. Ghost wasn't the last game they made, though, was it?
It was the last one Infinity Ward made.
No, but what I'm saying is, is that the last game Infinity Ward made ever, or did they make any other games between then?
I believe it was. I'll look it up.
Oh, never mind. I know what I was just thinking of.
No.
It wasn't that they had made something. It's I was thinking about people that were from Infinity Ward that had made up stuff in between then.
Oh, okay.
Which does not count.
Oh, yeah, the only thing Infinity Ward's done for the past, 10 years is Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
All right. Because Call of Duty, no one really cares. So a stunt actress who has worked on a lot of stuff, including movies, TV shows. She was actually one of the stunt actresses for Elektra in season 2 of Daredevil. She updated her online resume where she said she did mocap for Shadow of Mordor 2. And she said she worked with Blur on it, who is a very widely and well-known visual effects studio who works on TV shows, movies, video games. They do a lot of work with video games. Usually when you see really high-quality CGI video game trailers, it's usually Blur making it. And she says she updated one for Shadow of Mordor 2, which has not been officially announced yet. It did come out 2 years ago, and this would be around the time when something like that would get announced. So don't be surprised if we see a Shadow of Mordor 2 announcement at E3 this year.
Sounds good. And I actually really enjoyed Shadow of Mordor 1.
Great game.
Its boss battle, its last one, left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
It's people, if you're going to do a final boss battle, never, ever, ever do it where it's a quick time event.
I think I was just a bit annoyed because it's Jesus Christ, they can create these big Xenobites, but we can't have an actual Hellraiser game? I mean, come on, people.
Oh, that would be awesome, a Hellraiser game.
What would you do in a Hellraiser game?
I think
I think more to the point, you would essentially have to pull Bloodborne and hide the fact that that's what the game was about until, not the very end, obviously, but until maybe the halfway point. Because otherwise and it's not scary. It's sort of okay, yeah, when are the Xenobites going to show up? But if you just thought it was a regular game, and all of a sudden it's what is that sound? And it's just that's a music box. That's a weird looking music box. Oh,
wasn't
fuck.
that kind of somebody's pitch for an Alien game a while back?
Yeah, you don't make mention that it's an Alien game until at one point it's what the fuck happened to all these people? And oh shit, that's an egg. Oh crap, the xenomorphs are here. Oh no.
That would be cool.
Yeah, but it would never
nowadays you
happen
can't
though.
do
Just
it,
because
yeah.
like with properties like that, it's just like they do as much as they can to market the shit out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays, you really can't do. Like, you can't hide shit now with the internet.
And you just can't do it with the franchise. Like, again, you could do
Yeah.
that with Bloodborne because it's its own separate thing. It's not like, it's like, oh, this is part of, like, an established series that, we're going to get a whole lot of marketing on. Or, I mean, I guess it is, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not part of, like, a normie series or something like that, where it's just like, yeah, we have to do all the advertising because people are expecting it. It is ostensibly a new property, which is why they could get away with doing that.
Can dig it. So we got one more story well, I'm sure there were more, but I can't remember them. One more major story from last week is that Final Fantasy 15 is coming out this year.
Well, there was the big event of everything, and it's like, we're revealing, like, when it's coming out, we're revealing a demo, fuck it, we're going to even reveal more about the game, and, like, the characters, and an anime.
2 anime. Well, 1 anime and 1 CG movie. But.
1 anime. And again, there was a thing I had told you about where, and as you pointed out, it seems really stupid they're going to do this, because the anime is going to be free online of, like, 5 episodes, the exception being, like, there's going to be a 6th episode that's going to come bundled with the, I'm pretty sure now sold out, like,
totally
edition of the game. And the thing that's just, like, really stupid about that, it's like, as you said, it's like, yeah, someone's just gonna post that, though, like, the day it comes out. Like, what's the point in hiding it like that?
Yeah. I don't know, that seemed more like just, like, a tiny bonus for the people. I doubt someone's gonna pay for the $260 collector's edition
just to watch.
Yeah, just to watch an anime that would, at some point, either be released to what's the one, Crunchyroll, right?
Yeah.
Or to Pirate Bay.
Well, okay, Crunchyroll's not a fan site. That's an actual site, right?
No, I'm talking. Yeah, I know, but it's like either one. At some point, it's going to come to all everything.
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, it was only just this week that they announced, like, Funimation just made all of, like, Samurai Champloo free on YouTube.
Really? Did they?
Huh. Apparently. I wasn't paying it. I may be completely wrong on that. I just saw it as, like, a Facebook post.
Alright. You can dig it. Yeah. Final Fantasy 15 coming out this year. I'm hype. I've actually got. Have you either of you gotten to play the Platinum demo yet?
Yeah, I did.
I haven't yet, but I am probably going to soon.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It seems more like just like, hey, this is our engine. This is the cool things you can do with it. This is how you fight.
Much.
From what I understand, they actually did take quite a bit of notes when looking at the earlier demo they had done with that was tied together with Type 0.
Episode Deuce-K?
Yeah, and they've actually made a lot of changes to the combat because of it. Because I did play the demo, and it was fine, but the combat did seem a bit too... Not that it was easy, it just seemed like there wasn't much you were doing outside of just, like, mashing, like, one button.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really detailed enough, it seemed.
Well, now they've changed it so you can... I don't know if this was the same Deuce-K, I didn't play it. Because I didn't want to pre-order Type 0 HD.
Oh, you didn't have to pre-order it, you just had to buy a new copy.
It was like you had to buy like the first like batch of release copies, right?
I think I bought it like 6 months after release and I still got the demo.
Huh. Weird. Alright, whatever. But I think okay, so it's called Platinum Demo. It's the new demo. It's out right now if you haven't already played it.
I was a bit disappointed when they called it the Platinum Demo because I thought to myself, oh, don't tell me now they're getting like Platinum Studios to make Final Fantasy.
Yeah. That would be interesting. No, but you can just hold the attack button and it'll keep attacking. Same with dodge. It'll just keep dodging, except there are obviously moves the enemies can do that you can't just straight up dodge. You don't really get too crazy deep into combat because it's a demo and I think they only give you like, here's how to attack, here's how to defend, you can throw this one spell, and the demo's over. It's really fun though, it looks good. I'm on board. Oh, but then there was also the kind of sad news that they had no information on the PC version. Yeah.
I forgot there was even supposed to be a PC version. Or is there not? Oh, was this the thing where it's like it was listed as there was being a PC version, but then it turned out that was actually like fake?
Yeah.
Or there was a misreporting, I guess.
I think they mentioned in the past that they're looking into it, and they've been releasing the older Final Fantasies on PC. So people just assumed, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the September 30th release date is only for PS4 and Xbox One at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also the Hajime Tabata, the director, came out and said that they need to break 10 million. They need to have 10 million sales to break even.
I did not hear that part. That is...
Well, he said that, and then Square Enix came out and said, no. That was the goal the team had said, is they wanted to break 10 million. But it's like, oh no, Square, how much money did you spend on this?
Yeah.
All I can think about is that thing from fucking hell, like when there's the Tomb Raider one, and it's just like, sold 3 million units, and you think to yourself, oh, that's pretty good. The investors weren't happy about it. What?
Yeah, it's... yeah.
Ooh, boy. All right,
Good
now
luck.
we have to
That's what I'm going to say.
This week. Huh?
I'm going to say just good luck on that part of trying to get that much.
I know I'm going to buy it, but
Yeah, same here. Yes, I will as well, but...
Did 13 even sell that? Like, people knew it was a shitty game?
I don't think so, no.
I would be honestly very surprised.
So they gotta do a lot of work to win people back with this one.
Yeah.
There was actually a thing, though, I think, where they were just talking about other stuff, and I think they said... Oh, sorry. I think they were just saying that, like, yeah, design-wise, I think the reason why they're doing a bunch of stuff is just, like, nothing they've really been doing lately has been working. So it's like, honestly, yeah, maybe just try something very different here.
It is kind of very, like, Hail Mary.
Kind of. If I remember correctly, I think the phrase he even said was, like, we had to put pride aside, or something like that. And I get the impression what they meant by that is, like, because the problem you can definitely see with, like, say, the Final Fantasy 13 series was that they kind of assumed, oh, well, it has the name Final Fantasy, so it's okay.
Well, and the person making it had only made shitty games in the past.
Yeah.
It was the thing with 13 was it was a guy who doesn't really have a great history of making games, except he had a lot of power at Square Enix. And so he was kind of like, this is the series this is the direction we're taking this series. We're going to have 3 sequels, and Lightning's going to be the best character ever.
And it turns out she was as dull as just water.
He really, really wanted to fuck his own imaginary character.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to fuck Cloud, but he wasn't willing to admit that he had homosexual thoughts. So he made
No.
Oh, yeah. According to VG Charts, worldwide sales for Final Fantasy 13 currently sits at 5.34 million.
Yeah, I very much doubt it was going to be 10 million.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if any of the Final Fantasies have sold. I'm pretty sure maybe if you, like, took into account, like, re-releases and stuff like that, maybe it would account for 10 million sales for, like, one of them.
I think it might actually be 7. I'm going to look. Yep, Final Fantasy 7, 11.14 million units, followed by Final Fantasy 10, 10 million units, then Final Fantasy 8, then Final Fantasy 13. Wow. Oh, 7.48 million units is how much 13 is sold. Wow, X2 sold more than Kingdom Hearts? Jesus Christ.
The first one?
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of surprising, actually.
Yeah. That's weird. What about the second? What about compared to the second one, to Kingdom Hearts 2?
Kingdom Hearts 2's only sold 3.9 million units.
Really?
Yeah, it sold less than Dragon Warrior 7, Final Fantasy 10-2, Final Fantasy 12. Wow, it sold less than Final Fantasy 12?
Wow, that's weird.
It really is one of those series where, like, it's kind of in this weird position. And I remember when they did the dojo about this, and it's like, the entire time Grant's just really hung up on the Final Fantasy aspect. It's like, but just do Disney RPG. Just why? Why? I just remember that part. And it's like, yeah, like it probably is one of those series where it's like, I'm sure, like, yeah, when you pick it up at the right time, it obviously sticks well. Otherwise, it's going to be a hard sell.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. Like they're still continuing the series, so I guess
Yeah.
Interest in it.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have done a lot more units.
Maybe Nomura has a blood contract with somebody, and it's like they have to finish Kingdom Hearts.
It actually does occur to me. I wouldn't be surprised if relative to all the other, like especially all the Final Fantasies, I wouldn't be surprised if just like cost of production was significantly lower for the Kingdom Hearts series. So it's like, yeah, so we're not making as much money, but it's much.
Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe it's part of the deal they have with Disney is like, they like fork over some of the development costs, or it's like cheaper. I don't know. There's some kind of copyright wizardry going on there.
Well, there definitely is probably something like, yeah, with Disney providing some of the money, so it's like, okay, this is a safer investment. Also, I imagine it would be cheaper to make a Kingdom Hearts game than it would be to make a Final Fantasy game, because the Kingdom Hearts games, they do look good, but they're not trying to, like,
they're not the pinnacle of graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're good graphics,
kind
they're not trying to be photorealistic, which is arguably the biggest problem with the Final Fantasy series as it's been going on so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts is kind of the cartoony aesthetic, so really you're just smoothing out the edges rather than trying to make it look ridiculously.
Also, I wouldn't be surprised if it's also one of those series where merchandise-wise, it does pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Well, I mean, just look at, for a good example, is just look at the new Ratchet and Clank game. I mean, have you seen how fucking gorgeous that game looks? That's just because they're going with an art style and they're not trying to.
Yeah. Even
you can
like
see
the PS3
individual
ones.
hairs on
Yeah.
Ratchet's fur.
Yeah, like the PS3 ones, Ratchet and Clank games, they look gorgeous back then. Like, they look great. They looked like a Pixar movie. To be honest, now I want to go back and play Ratchet and Clank.
And then,
if you go down this rabbit hole, you're not going to be able to play anything. It's just like, oh, I want to play this, I want to play that, I want to play this.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, I already got like 3 old games that I'm trying to go back to play just because Illegal Sweet said to play them. Was it Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2?
I feel the same way whenever I turn on my computer and I think to myself, what am I going to whap off to today?
Yeah. And then I'm trying to play Banner Saga.
There was that story that came out, I think just yesterday, that Legacy of Kain multiplayer only game.
Oh yeah, Nos it's now officially canceled.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask Sweet about it earlier, actually.
I think we talked about it a while back. I don't know.
Well, we talked about when they announced the game, but
yeah, we talked about when they announced it, and I'm pretty sure he said that's a terrible fucking idea.
No, honestly, like, no one wanted this. It was more just the point. It's like, I was going to ask him, like, yeah, how do you feel that now that it's gone?
Oh, he'll probably be happy. He'll probably be happy as hell.
Well, you know what that means is the developers will take it as, well, I guess nobody wanted to play a Legacy of Kain game.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, I forgot if we ever talked about this, but when they showed the footage for Dead Sun, like, obviously it didn't look great, but that was just because it was alpha footage. But I'm not sure if we ever talked about this, but when I was looking at the footage, the thing I thought about most about style and the way combat was going is it kind of actually looked like an early version of what Shadow of Mordor ended up becoming.
Huh.
I don't know why. Maybe it was because it had that similar art style in some places.
Maybe it just when characters are hunched over, they all look the same.
Kind of. Who knows? Yeah, I'm sure we won't see it for a while, obviously, but who knows? Maybe if Vampire the Masquerade makes a comeback, they'll be like, oh, vampires are back in. Let's bring Legacy of Kain back as well.
Maybe. I think it'll take a few more, maybe like another 10, 20 years before vampires come back, though. Because we just had a spate of them in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to actual stuff that happened this week. Star Ocean, is it? I don't know if this is Star Ocean 5 but yeah.
It's Star
Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness got a release date. It's coming out June 28th in North America, March 31st in Japan, and July 1st in Europe.
I've never played the Star Ocean games before.
Neither have I, but goddamn, the
same.
fans are rabid for it.
I might need to go, I hear nothing. Whenever I meet someone that has actually played those, they're like, oh my god, it's freaking amazing, it's awesome. I might need to go and play that.
Yeah. Did we talk about Neo before we started recording, or?
Only briefly.
Yeah,
Okay.
only briefly.
So, if people aren't familiar, there's a game called Neo, which is being made by Team Ninja.
And it's about the Matrix.
People
See,
are
I
calling it.
was more thinking Neo Geo right there.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's NIOH, Neo. People are calling it like a samurai Dark Souls.
Yeah, because everything's pretty much Dark Souls nowadays.
Yeah, right. But
The closest comparison, honestly, is it kind of looks like it has more of an Onimusha vibe.
Right. But it's going to have an alpha demo that's going to be released on April 26th and will only be available until May 5th. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to pull a full, what is it? Oh, God damn it. Konami. And they said they're going to remove it from the PlayStation Store, but I don't know if they're going to make it where if you delete it, you can't re-download it. But yeah, it's only going to be available April 26th to May 5th, and it's going to have something where if you beat the demo or beat a certain boss in it, if you beat the demo, you're going to get able to access the Mark of the Conqueror DLC, which is a special DLC in the full game.
Uh-huh.
So they're going through the whole traditional Team Ninja kind of Dark Souls where this going to be hard. And they're not expecting a lot of people to get through it.
Watch it be incredibly easy because of a
Right. Like somebody figures out, if you just spam these two moves in this button combination, you can kill everything.
Yeah.
The thing I was thinking about for some reason was I was watching someone play through Dark Souls 2 again. It was the Best Friends guy. They were playing through Dark Souls 2, and I think they're going up against the Dark Lurker, and they got to a point where he hadn't split off yet, and because of one of the moves he did, his wing clips into a wall, and he can't actually move from there, so they start wailing on him, and he can't do anything about it. It's like, oh no. This, once terrifying boss is just, made ridiculously easy.
Oh, poor Dark Lurker. Either of y'all play Hand of Fate?
No. That's the card game / action combination.
Yeah,
right?
I was never really sure what it was either.
Yeah,
but...
I did for a little bit, for a day or two, and it just wasn't interesting to me.
Yeah, I never saw anything that looked... I didn't try it, so I may have loved it, but it didn't really seem to grab me. But a lot of people really dug it, and it's getting a sequel.
Yeah.
They don't have an official release date other than Q1 of 2017, which means it'll probably be somewhere between April and June. It's going to be on PC, Mac, and Linux. No word on consoles yet, although Hand of Fate was on, I think, Xbox 360. So I wouldn't rule out a console port for Hand of Fate 2. You get a sequel, Hand of Fate fans. I honestly didn't think that would happen. Good on you. And then there was the God of War 4 leak.
Well, potentially, because it hasn't
Potentially, except kind of confirmed. So,
has been kind of confirmed?
Not officially, but okay, so I'll get into it.
Yeah.
There was somebody who was a known leaker, Shinobi602, where if you follow game leaks, he's actually been quite a prominent figure with accurate information in the past.
Sorry,
nobody has a 100% track record, but he actually is a rather consistent one.
Sorry, what was the name again? Shinobi602?
Yeah.
This sounds like the teenage edgelordy person that then eventually goes on to become Shinobi 420 lol before.
Oh yeah. Check out most
someone who hangs out at something awful forums or some shit.
Most online aliases are something people chose when they were on the RuneScape forums.
Oh, don't remind me of RuneScape, man. Actually,
But,
you know what's the shit back in the day? Maple Story.
oh god, I'm so glad I never got into Maple Story. I felt like it would ruin my life. Yeah, God of War 4. So on April 4th, that leaker Shinobi tweeted out, "To the halls of Valhalla, my boy, hashtag God of War 4. And then the website Nerd Leaks, because they could put some kind of a fire under their belly, started digging through all kinds of crap. And there was a former Sony Santa Monica, who is the studio famous for working on God of War, a former artist who worked there. They kind of dug through his website, like the code of his website, and found a section of the website that wasn't made public, and it had a bunch of concept art that that shows a bunch of Norse mythology kind of setting, and a character that looks almost identical to Kratos, with the same like ashen skin, the same tattoos, except he's got a beard and different clothes on.
Which I didn't think it was literally possible for Kratos to grow a fucking beard. I thought in his DNA he could only make a fucking longer goatee.
Right. So the artist's name was Finian McManus. I don't know if that counts.
That's the fakest name I've ever heard.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Frederick McManus.
Finian McManus.
It's almost as fake as Benedict Cumberbatch.
I don't
You can
see Amanda
find
Chase McManus becoming an artist. I see him as like becoming like a wine connoisseur.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. With a
The
long
McManus collection.
mustache. With a long mustache and fucking monocle.
So you can, if you dig through, if you look it up, I'm sure you can find these supposed concept art images. They're pretty convincing looking. And Polygon also said that they reached out to their private sources and said that they confirmed that this is actually a thing. And there was also a panel, I believe, like 2 years ago, where one of the game director for God of War 2 like mentioned that, oh yeah, we're working on the new God of War game, and then like later they had to do the clarification. Oh yeah, he wasn't talking about that. And it's pretty obvious that we've known for a while that they weren't just gonna not do a sequel, another God of War game. And Sony Santa Monica's been pretty quiet for a while now, so I wouldn't. We're gonna see God of War 4 at E3 this year.
And honestly, them doing different mythology other than the whole Greek mythology is not surprising, because they've been hinting at wanting to do that since God of War 2.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? God of War 3, the original idea was that you were basically going to kill Zeus and all of them early on, and then you would be thrust into the Christian mythology, and it would basically end up that Kratos was the Christian god.
Well, it was See, this is weird, because in God of War 2, there's an actual thing where once you go visit the Sisters of Fate. And I remember this being so distinctive because it felt so out of place.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, like, all these people, it's like, yeah, this is their fate. And then it just shows, oh, but this person, no, we can't decide their fate. And it's quite clear it's like they're referring to Jesus
Christ. of Nazareth, yeah.
It's like, why?
Yeah, because what's the painting? It's the paintings of the three wise men, isn't it? And then
nice, weren't you?
Yeah, and it's like, the fuck did this come from? Yeah, I mean, they've been wanting to do shit like that since God of War 2, and they've been dying desperately to do it. And you know, at some point, if they keep going on, they're gonna be like, yes, we're gonna do Christian mythology now. They're totally
the pantheon of Christian gods, like
God,
the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the perspective, because not necessarily Roman Catholic specifically, but just like Catholicism, the way it's treated in a lot of other cultures.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the angels are a lot of the angels and saints are kind of treated as if they were essentially demigods in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have a thing where it's like, fight between like the Metatron, or like, Gabriel, like, banishing Lucifer or something like that.
Yeah, or who's Enoch?
Well, he was just a guy, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just bring in all these other fucking people and...
See, it's funny you mention that, though, because all I can think about now is that Japanese game, El Shaddai.
Oh, yeah.
And, see, I like it. It's not a great game in terms of gameplay, but it just has, like, really good visuals.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful game.
But I find it really ridiculous that it's the only... This sounds really stupid. It's like, it's the only game that so far has actually done some of those stories the way it was actually written down, and the visual style does not match it at all. It's like the whole thing with, like, yeah, the Nephilim. It's the only game I've seen so far that actually talks about them in the way they were originally talked about in the Bible. And they're just like these really cutesy little noodle things. They look like they're out of, like, Katamari Dynasty or something.
Yeah, they look like penises and all.
Well, God of War 4, we'll probably see it this year. I'm excited. I think most people are excited. A little, I don't know if maybe they should move on from Kratos. I know they don't really want to because it's kind of an iconic character, but do we really need Kratos again?
Yeah, because, like, okay, and also, if they are going to bring Kratos back, you're going to have to give him some kind of new personality. Because the angry bit is done. They went over it, and there's, like, no reason for him to be angry anymore.
Maybe it's going to be like the reverse of what happens in Civilization, where it's like he just gets so angry that the, like, peace counter just resets to 0, and all of a sudden he's just like, oh, I feel much better now.
I mean, yeah, like, I am interested if this does become God of War 4, or whatever new title they give it under. I will be interested, because is he just going to be his usual pissy, angry self and all, or...
I read somebody post that I actually agree with it. It'd be really badass if, like, the whole concept of a god of war is, like, omnipresent throughout all mythologies, where it's not Kratos, but it's basically a Kratos analog, where this is a reoccurring thing that happens through all. Or somebody's saying that it should be Fenrir, in this, since it's Norse mythology, so it actually makes sense with, this is the dude that means it's the end times for all these gods, and he's going to come through and fucking...
This sounds very...
See, that would be interesting.
That sounds very Neil Gaiman-esque.
Yeah.
Would that be a bad thing, though?
Depends on what type of Neil Gaiman property you're talking about.
Right.
I actually just got some of Neil Gaiman's stuff, like American Gods.
Let me put it like this. As long as it doesn't turn out that, like, yeah, like, his mother is just, like, some puppet with, like, stitched eyes, I think it'll be okay.
I don't know. One of the things that's always stuck out with me from Coraline is, like, it was, like, one of the first times, like, starts to go bad in the puppet world or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of her, like, stuffed toys, all her stuffed toys are starting to freak out, and, like, the octopus one just goes, I want to hug your face! I like Coraline. It's a good movie.
I don't think I've actually seen it before, but it does look interesting.
Alright, so y'all remember Donut Drake from the Uncharted games? The unlockable skin from...
Yes. Okay. I thought this was like some sort of like weird like mod where it's like, oh, this is like Fat Drake.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say, yeah.
Well, Donut Drake's not gonna be in Uncharted 4.
Oh, the bastards!
Because the director Neil Druckmann says, I don't want to laugh at someone's expense. I think we've matured beyond that.
Oh, what?
And he even said that they actually finished the modeling for it. It's in the game, but then they concluded that they didn't want to do it.
What? What was the point then?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just can't.
I
I just love that explanation. It's like, I don't want to laugh at someone's expense. That's too mean. See, to me, that's not a good. Like, that makes me wonder then, like, if the single player is going to be almost a bit too
serious.
Yeah, like obviously it's not like it's not like the Uncharted games are like comedy every second, but obviously like that there's that lightheartedness to it, and part of the lightheartedness comes from the fact that he's kind of a bit self-deprecating.
Yeah.
So,
I get what you mean. Yeah, it seems kind of, if this is supposedly the last Uncharted game, it seems kind of dumb to, like, why wouldn't you just put it in? Like, whatever, guys.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's going to cause a big stir.
Yeah,
the fact that it's been in the previous 3 games.
Yeah,
he really wanted a hot dog costume in, but they just could never get the modeling right.
Couldn't get that brand deal with Oscar Mayer.
I don't know. If you can't get that, what's the point, really?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like, I mean, you need what's the thing called? Trigger warning for this in this case. You know, I mean, it's been around for, like, ever.
I think my favorite thing with the Oscar Mayer winner is, like, this skit I saw, and it was sort of like, them saying, it's like, yeah, and, you know, my dream is to, like, you know, become an Oscar Mayer winner. And, like, they're just parodying the song and stuff like that. And the guy just looks at him and is just sort of like, yeah, but then you'll be eaten. What? It's like, yeah, you'll be a hot dog. And it's like, oh God, I never thought about this. And it's like, it's all right. You don't have to do it. It's like, no, you don't understand. I've already paid to have surgery for this. I've already picked out a bun.
What? Where was this from?
I forget. It was just like some weird sketch I saw once where it's just like, talking about like the dream of becoming Oscar Mayer wiener.
It's the prequel to the Seth Rogen animated movie Sausage Party.
That movie, I'm gonna say right now, I'm not too thrilled about that movie.
Yeah, that movie looks like it's gonna be.
The main thing everyone just kept on saying is like, oh, finally, an animated film for adults, and it's like, oh Jesus, like that's never a good sign. Like when you advertise it like that.
Yeah, I kind of have hope because it seems like Seth Rogen's crew have a way of like, this movie looks like shit. Oh God, that movie was hilarious. But then they also, this movie looks like shit. Yep, that movie was shit.
The perfect example of that, I think, is Neighbors.
Or Your Highness.
I
forgot about that.
Yeah, Your Highness.
I saw Your Highness in theaters. I paid for that shit.
Why?
I don't know, because I was in high school and I was smoking weed at the time and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be so funny. I even got fucking high before I saw it, and even in the movie I was like, this isn't funny.
And then you saw Danny McBride's like, oh, I can relate with him. That's totally me.
Best thing about that movie was Natalie Portman's ass.
Yeah, I've never liked the. And I think the last Seth Rogen movie I actually enjoyed.
Brat Pack?
Yeah, I think the only one of the last ones I enjoyed was what was it? This Is the End. That was it.
That was only really good on its first time through, anyways.
Exactly.
Like repeat viewings, it gets kind of annoying.
Yeah.
The Christmas movie they just did was really good.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I didn't really have an interest.
I will say though,
that doesn't have like the original Brat Pack, does it? It has like
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, and Seth Rogen, and that's really it, isn't it? Although
Lizzie Kaplan's in it, Mindy Kaling, Michael Shannon.
Although Seth Rogen's not gonna do a movie without his butt buddy. Fuck's his name? James
Franco. Yeah, James
Franco.
So
he had to show up in okay, I knew it.
It's a great fucking way to use him, though.
Is it?
I think one of my favorite lines from This Is the End, it has to be like the whole, you know, I bet you're one of those bitter fuckers that thinks that Forrest Gump wasn't a good movie. Forrest Gump was a shitty movie. Exactly.
Oh boy. So Gears of War 4 is coming out this year, October 11th.
Never been a real big fan of Gears of War stuff. Honestly, I think of the Xbox exclusives they had between the two of Halo and Gears of War was the weakest.
I stopped giving a shit about the story for Gears of War.
Though, Ryan, but honestly, Gears of War 1 and 2 are actually really good games.
Yeah, they are. Gears of War 3 story kind of shit the bed.
It just
the
never
multiplayer has always been fun, though.
Yeah, it just never really appealed to me, honestly. You know, yeah. I mean, like, I get it, but I don't know.
There's going to be an open, well, kind of not open and then open beta starting April 18th. Anyone who played Gears of War Ultimate Edition on Xbox One or Windows 10 PC will be able to play. We'll get access to the beta on Xbox One, and then if you just have an Xbox Live Gold account, you'll be able to play the beta on April 25th.
Remind me, was the Gears of War Ultimate Edition just a port of the first Gears of War?
Yes, but like, you know, updated graphics and shit.
See, I remember hearing that. I thought it was a bit weird that, like, as far as, like, HD conversions go, it was just one game?
Yeah.
Because I guess we're kind of used to, like, at least 2 or 3 games now in these packs.
It was strange. It's like, why didn't you guys just release all 3? But, you know. Whatever.
No, you don't understand. The graphics are too good. You can only fit one game on there.
Either of you get a chance to play the Doom closed beta when that was going on?
No.
Well, you get the opportunity now, because an open beta for Doom is going to go on this next Friday, April 15th, and run through that Sunday.
And I heard about that, yeah. The thing is, I don't know... Is like, do I have to sign up for it, or is it just a thing that's going to show up on Steam?
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
just out of nowhere.
It'll probably be through Bethesda's thing if you want to go on PC. But yeah, if you have PS4, Xbox One, it's probably just going to be on the marketplace. Yeah, I wanted to play it. Now we get to play it, so it'll pry me away from Dark Souls 3 for a little bit.
Yeah, a bit, and then it's a sort of like, no, gotta go back.
Right. It's a multiplayer game, so like you play a round or two, and it's like, I gotta go kill some more undead. Did you guys know that there was going to be a PC port of Rock Band 4?
No.
I remember that, yeah.
Because the crowdfunding campaign on Fig failed. They were asking, I think, for $1.5 million. They got around $784 million.
Jesus!
Yeah. So they said, Harmonix said, we learned exactly what we needed to learn. There doesn't seem to be enough of an audience to make Rock Band on PC a viable project for us right now. We're committed to supporting and improving Rock Band 4 on consoles. Too bad, Rock Band PC fans. But doesn't really seem like enough of you were interested in it anyway. Alright, last batch of stories that I have. The Attack on Titan game, which was like, made by the Dynasty Warriors people, which looks pretty hot. Coming out April 30th on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PS3, Vita, or PC.
I have a suspicion that this is a game that will not work that well with handheld.
Yeah, probably not. Also, strangely, I think everywhere outside of the US, it's got the subtitle Wings of Freedom.
Oh, what? Like, it's like that? No, that won't fly here.
I know, right? It's really weird. Like, everywhere else it's called Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom, but in the US it's just called Attack on Titan.
No,
okay.
No. You can't have freedom here in the US, okay?
Whatever, guys. Either of you remember the series Fear Effect?
You're gonna have to remind me what that one is.
I don't know what it is either, but it was like an old Square Enix franchise, and apparently they're kickstarting a reboot on it, and Square Enix said, yeah, okay, you can do that. So, if you're into the Fear Effect series, Kickstarter is going on right now, and it's got the go-ahead, so it's not just going to get shut down randomly. Let me check the Kickstarter page. God damn it, why wouldn't you link directly to... Well, this is too much work. Fear Effect, if you're into it, I'm sure you can find it. It's called Sedna. Fear Effect : Sedna. They say it's going to wrap up the story of the series, which I guess was left unanswered. Cool. Fable Legends may not actually be canceled. Apparently some of the former Lionhead employees are saying that Microsoft has been asking them if they wanted to continue work on the game or stay on for the remainder of their employment contracts to continue work on the game. And then there's also been talk that they're going to finish the game but as an independent studio. I guess that kind of makes sense because they were pretty far along in the game's development. To just kind of shutter it all of a sudden would be a bit of a waste. But does anyone really care?
I don't think so, honestly.
Not really.
Exactly. And then the last, unless you guys got anything else to say about Fable Legends? No?
Not really. Honestly, you know what? This was a series that was pretty much dying ever since the second one.
Even then.
To be frank, yeah, and even then, yeah. I mean, you had one good one, and it feels like that should have been one of the few that's like, just let it die. Just let it have the one, and go on.
Yeah. Alright, kind of non-story, because I don't know anyone who's interested in this. Did you guys remember Resident Evil not Umbrella Corps, Operation Raccoon City?
I remember that being like the game that Jeff really got his...
Yeah.
He really was not happy about that one.
It's like a multiplayer, like co-op multiplayer, third-person shooter. It's not really a horror game at all, kind of an action thing. Well, the kind of sequel to that, Umbrella Corps, is supposed to come out in May. Now it's going to come out June 21st on PC and PS4 as a digital download only for $30. All right, delayed to June. That is everything I have. You guys got any minor things or?
Not really. Honestly, you know what? I was one of those people that got into the Resident Evil shit really late in the games. Like, I got in around the 5th one was Africa, right?
Yeah.
I got around that, and at that point, the horror stuff was just gone.
Yeah, the first one I played was 5, and I played it around launch, and then the only other one I played was 4, and I played that like 2 years ago for the first time.
So, the first one I ended up playing actually was the first one, but I got it... I played the DS version, oddly enough, which is not a bad game, but in comparison to like the remake they have, the remake is obviously better.
Right.
But I have played the other games. Like I've played 2, I have played 3, I have played 4, played 5. I haven't played 6. I never played I think it's the Outbreak series where you play as like the multiple people. Never played that one. Never played Revelations, and I never played Code Veronica. The thing is, like, as an actual series, like, the first 3 games and 4 are not bad. Like, are they good horror games? No. Not really. But that style of gameplay is fine. Like, I think, like, the type of stuff they were trying to do, like, yeah, it was pretty fun and stuff like that. And it always has had a bit of an action feel to it. But, I don't know. I never really had any interest in Operation Raccoon City either, just because, again, the whole multiplayer thing just sort of seems like, yeah, well, what's the point? And also, it's not really part of the whole appeal usually with the Resident Evil series. Like, you're in an area, you're on your own, you're scavenging for resources, and it's like, oh, fuck, like, you know, I have to deal with these fuckers now. But when you're, like, part of a squad, and so it's like, yeah, we're picking up ammo drops, it's like, all right, then. I don't know.
Is that it?
I believe that is.
All right, that was another Rage Select Community Podcast where... Should we just keep doing this every 2 weeks so we actually have...
I think we should. I think we should. That way we have shit to talk about, because like, what is it? Most of the time, we're just struggling for shit.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Unless there's, like, a huge... obviously, like, once the... God damn it, the conventions start happening.
Oh, yeah, like E3 and all that. Yeah, the Blizzard... what's the Blizzard one?
BlizzCon. The
So
easiest
simple.
thing.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
It's so simple. I'm sorry. I don't know. I would think Blizzard being Blizzard, they would make it some fucking ridiculous name.
No. Yeah, no. Once, like, BlizzCon, GDC... Well, GDC already happened. Gamescom... once the QuakeCon starts happening, you know, once all that shit once all that shit gets going, then we'll probably return to a weekly format. But as is right now, I think this 2 weeks thing's kind of working out.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint you, 4 fans.
We get more than that.
Your alt accounts don't count, right?
Man, that'd be too much work for this. Fuck that. Unless we were getting paid, unless I switched it to, getting paid? Yeah, that's too much.
Better not make this a goddamn Patreon thing.
Fuck no.
Patreon?
Hell no, are you crazy? The only time I would ever make this a Patreon thing is if by some...
You are even considering it. That's the thing that caused...
No. I was saying the only way I would ever even think of doing that would be like if we had like 10,000 subscribers or some bullshit, and we would never. I'm sorry. Like, you know, we're not JonTron. We're not Total Biscuit.
I wouldn't need you chumps anymore if we had 10,000 subscribers. I'd just take my...
You're 25%. You're 25%. Like a divorce.
Is that what your wife told you? Is that you're only supposed to get 25%? Damn, dude, you got a shitty lawyer.
I was not at all. I'm going to tell you right now, I was not paying any attention at all to the conversation you were just having.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was, which is why I probably should have cut the podcast earlier.
Yeah, I cut it right now. Goodbye.